Hey there guys, welcome back to my September release reveal video. This is a special edition floss tube for me, one that I have been waiting for quite a while. This is not going to be my traditional floss tube. Check back in about a week. We'll get back to that then. But this is going to be the reveal of my 5 new cross stitch patterns. My name is Liz, my company is Hello from Liz Mathews, and I'm excited to share some time with you today. You guys, excited is an understatement. I have worked so hard and I am just so excited to hear your responses, your reviews, what you think, what you're excited about. So let me know in the comments below. You can also always find me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. My handle is Hello from Liz Mathews. So what you need to know about these 5 new releases is, as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm gonna upload it to YouTube, and when I'm doing that, I'm gonna send shops the newsletter with all of the information about these charts. So simultaneously as this is coming to you, the information is coming to them. It will have all of the information about called for materials, what you need to kit it up, all the information basically. But if you see something you like and you jot it down, and what you need to do is call your favorite shop, online, LNS, whatever. If you call them and say, hey, I want this design from Hello from Liz Mathews, and they say, I don't think that's a design, tell them to check their email. I know that they are all swamped, but it's in there waiting for them, and they can place a special order for all of these designs to be shipped out immediately. I am ready to ship. That is a miracle, but all of these designs are ready to go. Now, if I sell out, I'm ready to reprint because I have Princess Paterina Cyan, but we'll see what happens. But basically, I'm ready to get these in your hot little hands because they're all kind of seasonal. So these will not be available in my shop for at least 2 weeks. I want to send my support to the brick and mortars, to the online shops. I like to support them. So that is how you can get your hands on them the quickest. All right, should I just dive in? Let's just do it. Okay. The first fall release from Hello from Liz Mathews is Sleepy Hollow. Let me give you a close-up. Can you see it there? The weather has been awful today, but it has kind of brightened up this last half hour, so hopefully you're getting a nice view of this piece. I love this piece so much. I have a lot to tell you about this piece. So we have the jack-o'-lanterns, the cats, the leaves, the acorns, the owls, the spider in the moon, one of my favorite parts. And then in the center, there is an old wooden sign that says Sleepy Hollow 1664. Established. And Sleepy Hollow is an actual town in Westchester, New York. I've actually been there, surprisingly. And it's just, I mean, is there a better name? Sleepy Hollow is also the location for the famous book and movie. Oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking, but I wrote it down. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. You know, Johnny Depp played in the movie. So that's what's in the center, and it's just supposed to be nice and spooky and fun and haunting and Halloweeny and autumnal and all of the things. In this piece, you will find both cross stitches and back stitching. Back stitching is done in all of the spider's webs and you know, the webs that they're dangling from. Aside from that, it is cross stitch. This was model stitched for me by Stacy Walker. She did an amazingly beautiful job. She did this using needlepoint silk. However, as always, there is a very thoughtful DMC conversion included on all of my charts. Always, I spent a lot of time color matching, so you can trust that, I promise. This was stitched on, I have my information here, 36 count legacy linen from Picture This Plus. Like I said, it's needlepoint silk, but there is a DMC conversion. It is 193 stitches wide by 95 stitches high. And I'm adding something new to my charts. You will find below the stitch count, there is also a total number of cross stitches count. So for this piece, you have 9,417 stitches. That does not include the back stitching, FYI. But I think that's all of the details you need on this piece. If you caught my reveal video, my release video with Mom a couple of videos ago, she talked about how she and I were both designing. My mom is khaki barrack, by the way, if you didn't know that. And she is a cross-stitch designer as well. And there was a day that we were both designing on Halloween pieces, and we were just like stumped. Like we had maxed out our creative energy on those pieces. So we both sent each other the designs we were working on. Her design that she sent me was Western Witch. I sent her this guy, and we both spent about an hour kind of like looking, adjusting, tweaking each other's charts, and sent it back. And boy, oh boy, did she help me pull it all together. Mom's edition, she added many things or adjusted many things for me, but the spooky bats are her contribution to this piece that I love so much. So there's more contributions there, but it's funny because I did the bats on her Western Witch, and then she did the bats on this piece, and I feel like I was worried that it was coming across too cute, and the tweaks and the adjustments she helped me with turned this to a spooky, like haunting Halloween piece, like cute to spooky, and I love it. So this is Sleepy Hollow. I did find something else interesting that I wanted to share with you regarding Sleepy Hollow. This was my sketch. Can you see it? This was my sketch when I originally had the idea. If you're ever curious where my ideas come from, where they start, it's that simple. In my mind, I knew what this was, like those little blobs, they're all owls. But you can kind of see where I start with something and it just goes and evolves. And in this case, Mom helped me out a little bit too. If you're looking for this chart in store, this is the cover sheet to look for. I hope you like that one. And I hope you like this one. I did some teasers in some videos. This is my Hocus Pocus piece. And as soon as I said that, all of my fellow Hocus Pocus lovers united, and I'm really excited to share this one with you. So let me share it with you and then we'll discuss. Here it is. Is that I thought there was a hair on it. This is one of my big signed pieces. So this is an oversized frame. It's 12 by 18 inches. It's prefabricated. You can get it in any craft store. And it says, "It's just a bunch of Hocus Pocus," which is a line from the movie Hocus Pocus, which has a very, very, very special place in my heart. I hope you guys like this. I tried to keep it kind of in line with my home decor, my style, and this was a nice way to adapt something very sentimental that came out when I was very young into something that I would hang in my house now as a 37-year-old. But anyway, there it is, the Hocus Pocus piece. Let me give you the details on that. And I also did bring, I'm gonna put this down. This is the movie, if you are interested in it. Sorry for the glare. It's Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, never know how to say that, and Sarah Jessica Parker. Hocus Pocus came out in 1993 by Disney. It was put out by Disney. And it is one of my all-time favorite movies. I will watch it several times this season, every year. I love it so much, and I know I am not alone. So there is that if you haven't seen it and want to check it out. Hocus Pocus was stitched on 36, scratch that, 37 count Cloudburst Legacy linen using one strand of Silken Colors silk thread over 2 threads of linen. It is just one color, so if you are hesitant to use silk, this is a piece that just requires one color, like a fraction of the skein. You don't even need it all. It is in the colorway Ink Black. Alternatively, you can use DMC 310. This piece was beautifully stitched by my friend Kia Bandy. She did an amazing job, and she also loves Hocus Pocus, so it's kind of extra sentimental in that way. Let's see. I put on the back the information about how The stitch count may be 270 wide by 54 high, but that is only referring to the stitched area. So if you want to finish this similarly to how I have, you are going to need a much bigger piece of linen, and I wrote that down there for you. This too has the total number of stitches on it, listed on it, and it is 2,256 stitches. I hope you guys like this new feature. It doesn't always apply to the charts that I'm releasing, but when it does, I will put that information on there for you. I think that's all you need to know about this piece. Just let me give you a close-up. I really love the font and thought it was very appropriate for Hocus Pocus. So it's kind of the same. It has that, like, I don't know. I just think it's perfect. And I hope that you like this piece. Here is the cover chart if you are in a store and looking for it. These pictures will also end up on my Instagram feed, where I will also put all of the called for materials in a highlighted story at the top of my page. All right, let's move into my fall trees. You guys know I did winter trees, spring trees, summer trees, and now I'm rounding out the year with my fall trees. I'm done with the trees for the year. Let me show you both of them together. Both of them, there's two. Here they are, and I will break them down for you. Let's start with autumn tree. Let me give you a close-up here. So this might remind you of Mayflower's tree, which was probably my most popular tree design to date. And when you guys tell me what you like the most, and that might be through purchasing, what you stitch, whatever, when I see a trend, I always try to keep with it to make sure that I'm giving you guys what you want. So this is the autumn tree. It is stitched on 36 count raw muslin linen from Color and Cotton using 2 strands of weak dyeworks thread over 2 threads of linen. This is all one color. It's a monochromatic piece, and it uses the color Molasses. In this, I try to keep with all things autumn. We have what is supposed to be corn or wheat, sweet little squirrels, maybe my favorite feature of the tree, some patchwork motifs, acorns, maybe also my favorite part of this tree. And at the top, thinking of Thanksgiving and the Mayflower, we have a ship. So this is autumn tree. Okay, what do I want to say? On this chart, I listened to you guys with your feedback, and on the chart, there are actually printed lines that are kind of used as a guide when you go to assemble your tree. Yes, that's what I want to say. And I hope that it's helpful. There are instructions on the back of the chart, loose instructions. I struggled to get detailed enough in my text, but there is a link to my very detailed tutorial that's on FlossTube as well as on Instagram, so you know where to find it when you go to construct your autumn tree. The stitch count is 139 wide by 152 high. I think that's all of the information that you need to know about this guy. This is a vintage glass flower frog. I finished it with an antique grain sack, has the Spanish moss, so there's a foam core. Finished as all of my trees are. I am now an expert tree maker, as you can imagine. This is the cover sheet for autumn trees. It's this single tree, and then in the corner, you see both of them together. Okay. Pumpkin quilt tree. Here it is again. Love love this piece. The details of this piece are, it is stitched on 36 count tin roof linen from Weeks Dye Works. Isn't that a gorgeous, like, gray green? Could be either, but is definitely autumnal and fall and cozy. I love this linen so much. It uses 2 strands of Weeks Dye Works threads over 2 threads of linen. It is entirely cross-stitched, and the stitch count on this is 115 wide by 131 high. Okay, I'm just reading my notes here. I wanted to show you that this chart, this is what I meant about the printed lines. This chart is printed as a full rectangle. Nobody steal that. So that you can make more of a traditional sampler finish. Maybe you want to do a pincushion. I don't know. I just thought this was so lovely, and I wanted to chart it with multiple options rather than just finishing it as a tree. If you do want to work it as a tree, that's what those lines are for. They're guides for where you sew the front to the back. All of that information is on the back of the chart. This uses 4 Weeks Dye Works colors. And I think that rounds out pumpkin quilt tree. I have done a quilt tree for every one of the seasons, and they're kind of my favorite. I love them so much. They are all inspired by quilts. I do searches for historic or seasonal quilts, and I get inspiration from there, and that is exactly what I did with this piece too. It's nice and repetitive. You kind of get in the groove, and it was a really fun stitch. This is one that you could adapt very easily using different colors. Maybe you're not into a white pumpkin. Maybe you want to switch it up. Do your thing, make it suit you, and have fun with it. And then lastly, you guys know what's coming. It is the second day of Christmas. Tree and sampler. Woo! I am very, very excited to share this with you. Are you ready to see? Here is the sampler. And here is the tree. I hope you guys like these. This was so much fun to work on once I got in the groove. I don't think I've ever been so stumped going into designing something before, but once I broke through, I found my groove and really love this piece. So let me tell you about it. The first thing you'll notice is that the tree and the sampler are different designs, and that is accurate. And I think that's probably how I'll move through the rest of the days of Christmas. You know, we have 10 more after this. So with the first day of Christmas, it was one chart, and you could either finish it as a sampler or just do a portion of it and make it a tree. But with the popularity of it and the comments I got about it, some nice, some not so nice, I decided to change the way I did things. So this and the sampler are 2 entirely different and separate charts within the pack. It's just one price. You get both of them. You have the option to do whatever you like. There was just no way to make them work together. Plus, the feedback was that that's not what you guys like. So 2 separate charts for however you want to finish these. The second day of Christmas is 2 turtle doves, and if you didn't know, the turtle dove symbolizes friendship. I learned that in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York City, and it's something that kind of came back around as I was doing some research, getting ready to design this piece. So what you have here is 2 turtle doves and then a nice little winter village. Now what you're probably noticing is that there are initials in each of the houses. And because this is a representation of friendship, what I did was put the initials of very special people to me in the houses. So we have my mom, Joe, Steph, Mare, Kia, and Annie. And I just did their initials, and because I want you to be able to personalize this to you and not be stuck with all my initials. In the chart pack is also 2 alphabets for you, because I don't know if you can see here, but the alphabets are the initials I should say, are 2 different sizes. So there's 2 alphabets here for you to choose from and to personalize to suit you, to make it yours and make it all about friendship and special people in your life. One little thing is JB, that is my husband, and just a fun little detail is, where is it? There's a little heart coming out of the chimney, while it's usually just little snowflakes and bits of warmth floating up there. The JB got a little heart. So the sampler also has the year 2020 right here, while there is no date on the tree, just so you know. And if you're curious why I included the blue shade that I did, it's because I am kind of thinking forward to all of the rest of the days of Christmas as I'm working on these pieces. And I know that blue is a color that I will want to incorporate in the future. So rather than have it like pop up randomly in the 3rd, 5th, whatever day of Christmas, I wanted to start incorporating it now so that it looks very cohesive if you plan on stitching these all together or displaying them all together. Just kind of thinking ahead a bit for you. Now, there's a lot that I wanted to say about this. Let me real quick go over the model stitchers for this. Sorry you guys, I'm just so excited. This sampler was stitched by Stacy Walker. Beautiful, beautiful job, Stacy. Thank you so much. And the tree was stitched by Joanna Roberts. Thank you so much, Joanna. This is just beautiful. Thank you. Now they are stitched in 2 different fabric thread combinations, I should say. The sampler is stitched on, the sampler is stitched on 40 count fog linen from Picture This Plus using 1 strand of needlepoint silk over 2 threads of linen. The tree is stitched on colored linen from Weeks Dye Works using 2 strands of DMC thread over 2 threads of linen. So, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times, there is a very thoughtful DMC conversion for all the needlepoint silk colors. Use whatever you're comfortable with. But I did want to point out that because this is going to be a series of 12 days, if you choose to invest in the needlepoint silks, which I know are pricey, please know that the same colors will be appearing throughout all 12 days. Meaning it's the same yellows that I used in the first day that popped up in the second day, because I am frugal and I don't want you to be spending an arm and a leg on flosses that you don't need. So keep that in mind. Some other questions that I get quite regularly are what the sizes are going to be. This piece actually ended up being the exact same stitch count as the first day of Christmas. But what I have committed to for the long haul for all 12 days is that the rectangle is going to be the same size always. So if you were to just take off that decorative border and leave a rectangle, that will always, always, always be the same size for all 12 days. This fancy, it's not black work, but black work border, that might change. It didn't for these 2, and I'm not saying that it won't stay the same throughout the whole series, but I just wanted to give you that information. There is a stitch along happening for these pieces. You can follow the hashtag Hello Christmas Days Sal on Instagram, or there is a private Facebook group. I'm not extremely Facebook savvy, as I've said before, but I do get in there. They did get a sneak piece of this second day yesterday, so if you're interested, go give a join and enjoy the conversation that's going on about these pieces. Okay, so there's 3 charts. Needlepoint silk will be used throughout all the days. I'm gonna hit all my points. There is instruction on how to finish the tree if you'd like to, same as the other trees. You can find the tutorial online. I actually used, I don't know if you guys remember, you would have to have been with me for a while, that I put out embroidery patterns many years ago. And I just started reselling them because I found them in storage and I want them to go to good homes. And the embroidery patterns have printed collages that you embroider on top of. The printing is on cotton, and I actually used a piece of one of those for the back of this because it's Christmassy and that says Happy New Year. So that is that. Let me show you. I want to show you the first and the second day of Christmas together. Don't laugh. I haven't gotten the frame I ordered in the mail yet. It is shipped from Frame and Wire Shop on Etsy. They are the same people that did the frame for the first day of Christmas. They are excellent, excellent. I love them. I highly recommend them. But the post office is having some issues right now. So the frame didn't come in. So what I ended up doing, because luckily they were the exact same size, is I disassembled the first day of Christmas. And I took the frame off of that one so that I could put this set of seasonal releases out. So there's another frame coming, but for now, there you go. These are the first 2 days of Christmas together. You can see the similar colors. You can see the similar styles, all those things. I really hope you guys like this. Let me know how you're stitching it, what you think, if you have any questions, if you have any feedback. But that is the second day of Christmas. I did not tell you that the stitch count is 97 wide by 132 high. It's the same as the first one. We already went over that. The only other thing I wanted to point out is that if you are kitting up to do the sampler, you need that blue. If you are kitting up to do the tree, you do not need the blue color that is listed in the called for thread list. And I did make a notation of that right below the list there, so you'll see that that's just a little way you can save. Here is the cover of this chart. Really thrilled with how this came out. So hopefully you'll see that in stores soon. And please do join the Stitch Along Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want. We're there, we're chatting, we're stitching. 10 more days to come. We're not nearly done. It is an open-ended sale. So if you saw anything that you like or you feel like stitching or that you want to have, be sure to contact your favorite shop. Let them know to check their email and place that order with them. Like I said, I'm ready to ship. So hopefully you will have those soon. Please share pictures with me of what you're stitching. Find me on Instagram. I'll be there chatting this afternoon. And thank you guys very much for letting me share these with you and for letting me do these. Like I said, I don't think I've ever been more excited to do, to reveal new patterns before. I am gonna put my head down and get right back to it for November releases, but we're not even gonna talk about that right now. But I hope you guys have a very happy sampler September. Ironically, I don't even have a sampler in here. Actually, yes, I do. What am I talking about? Anyway, I hope you guys have a great sampler September and that you are doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to enter that giveaway that I'm doing. Check in my last video for the details, and I'll be back in about a week and we will chat then. Bye.